if you are an e-commerce owner, a graphic designer, or a digital marketer who wants to design more engaging newsletters, then buckle up because today's video is all about designing effective e-commerce newsletters that keep your customers engaged and your sales skyrocketing. We will be using MailerLite, one of the most powerful email marketing tools out there. So get ready to learn some exciting tips and tricks on how to create newsletters for your online business that drive more sales. But before we get started with this step-by-step tutorial, let's go over some initial guidelines that will ensure that your newsletter stands out from the crowded inbox. First and foremost, branding is key. In order to create a newsletter that stands out from the crowd, you need to start with your branding. Your newsletter should reflect your unique visual identity and voice. This means incorporating your brand colors, fonts, and visual style in order to create a consistent look that reinforces your brand image and makes your newsletter recognizable for your audience. But it's not just about looks, the layout of your newsletter is just as important. Using effective banners, white space, and easy-to-read fonts can make a big difference in capturing your audience's attention. And don't forget to optimize for mobile responsiveness. Most people will be reading your newsletter on their phone, so you have to make sure that your newsletter looks great on any device. This is just one of the reasons I love MailerLite. Your newsletter always looks good no matter if you read it on your desktop or on your phone. And finally, what really sets a great newsletter apart is personalization. Adding the recipient's name in the subject line and creating a content that is tailored to their past purchases and interests can create a more meaningful experience for them. So let's get creative and start designing a newsletter that truly represents your brand. For today's video, I'm going to be using MailerLite, but the principles I'm going to show you can be applied for pretty much any mailing software out there. First, let's briefly see how to set up a MailerLite account. It's super easy, just head over to MailerLite.com and click on Sign Up. Once you've created your account, you can connect MailerLite to your Shopify or WooCommerce store and import your product feed. You can find a step-by-step guide on how to do this on the MailerLite website. Keep in mind that there are a few simple steps you need to follow in order to get approved to send newsletters through MailerLite. I'll leave all the links in the description below. Once you're logged in and have your account all set up, creating a new campaign is a breeze. Simply click on Create New Campaign and use the drag and drop editor to create effective newsletters. When it comes to designing newsletters for your e-commerce business, it can be very helpful to look to other businesses and brands for inspiration. One great place to find inspiration is Pinterest. This platform is filled with so many examples of beautiful and creative newsletters from a variety of industries. You can search for keywords related to your business, such as fashion newsletter or food newsletter, to find examples that align with your brand and target audience. Or simply type newsletter design for e-commerce to look at the different examples. Another great resource for newsletter design inspiration, which I love, is reallygoodemails.com. This website features a curated collection of some of the best newsletters on the web with a focus on design and content that stands out. You can browse by industry or by type of email, such as promotional emails, newsletters, or welcome emails, to find examples that inspire you. By looking what other businesses are doing well, you can gain insights into what works and what doesn't, and apply those lessons to your own newsletter design. Just be sure to put your own unique spin on things and always prioritize branding and personalization to make your newsletter stand out and connect with your subscribers. Now let's move on to actually designing your newsletter template. While MailerLite, MailChimp, and other softwares offer pre-built templates, I recommend creating your own custom template to have full control over the design elements and the different blocks and features you can add to your newsletter. First, I'll show you the main tools we'll be using, and then we're going to add all the needed widgets and elements. Start by clicking the Create button to create a new campaign. Then click on Create Campaign and Continue. Here you have to add the name of your campaign, which will be visible for you. So in our case, this would be Bag Style 10% off, as this is the campaign we're creating. We then want to choose a regular campaign and hit Save and Continue. Now we need to add a subject line. I've prepared a nice little document here with all the relevant information that we need for this project. So let's just copy our campaign subject line and paste it into MailerLite. A good practice is to add an emoji to your subject line that is engaging and suitable for the campaign. So this is what I'm doing here with our dog emoji. Personalization of the email is also crucial for engaging better with your audience and increasing the open rate of your emails. You can easily personalize the subject line by clicking on Insert Personalization and then choosing Name. Then you can choose the sender's name and then just click on Content. Here you have a template gallery, but today we're going to create our own newsletter template from scratch. So just click Start from Scratch and then choose the Drag and Drop editor. As you can see, MailerLite automatically creates a template for you and fills it out with some blocks. But we're going to change it quite a bit to fit our needs. So let's go over the basic structure of the drag and drop editor. In the middle, you have the actual newsletter with all the elements you're using and a preview of your edits. On the left side, you have all the blocks, widgets and elements that you can add to your newsletter. Those elements are divided into different sections such as headings, buttons, content, e-commerce and others. On the right side, you have the overall settings for your newsletter. You can adjust fonts, colors, layout, basically all global design elements can be adjusted here. And when you choose a specific element and click on the Edit button, then you have even more settings opening up on the right side. For example, you can adjust the padding of this banner super easily. And once you're done with your adjustments, just click Save. Now let's create the basic structure of our email and then we can start customizing the design. First, we're going to delete all the blocks that we don't need and we're not going to use by clicking the bin icon on each section. For this tutorial, I'm going to use a fictional brand I've created called Barkstyle, which is a dog clothing company brand. I have prepared all the brand colors, fonts, heading, text and other elements we're going to need for each section for easier access, and I recommend you to do the same before starting the design of your newsletter. Let's dive right in and start designing. First, let's add the company logo by replacing the current one and uploading our own photo. To do so, we need to click on the edit icon, then click on change, and using the upload image button, you can upload your own image. You also have the option to choose a specific URL, a Google Drive document, an Unsplash photo, and others. And in this case, I have already pre-uploaded all the photos we're gonna need. So I'm just going to choose the logo and click on Insert. Now, just by clicking and dragging, you can increase the size of the actual image. Then I'm going to add a banner image. You can either use the article with background image template to promote your campaign, or you can upload your banner for this campaign as an image. If you're a professional designer like me, definitely use Photoshop, Adobe Illustrator, Figma or any other design software of your choice to design the banner. For now, I'll add both the article with background image template and an empty placeholder for an image so I can later show you how to use both of them and then choose the right one for your campaign and skills. If you're promoting a time-sensitive campaign like 10% off everything on your website, it is a great idea to add a countdown clock to create some urgency. And that's exactly what we're going to do here. Now that we have our banner and countdown section done, we also have a catchy headline and some text explaining the campaign further. Keep in mind, it's always a good idea to personalize your emails when possible. Next, it's time to add some sections with your products. First, I'll add a single featured product. And then let's add a section with our weekly favorites with 3 additional products. Now let's drag and drop a section with the benefits that your online shop is providing, such as fast delivery, money-back guarantee, free shipping, etc. And finally, don't forget to add a blog for all of your social media accounts so people can follow you there. Now that we have all the elements we're gonna need for our template, it's time to start designing and customizing them so we can go from this to that super easily. When customizing your template, it's important to keep your branding in mind. So let's customize all colors, fonts, and other design elements to fit the visual identity of our e-commerce business. You can do this in just a few clicks, and I'm going to show you how. On the right side of the editor, you have the global settings for the whole newsletter template you're designing. We have template settings, content settings, button and footer settings. On the Template Settings tab, you can change the global fonts, and in our case, we're going to use Montserrat, so we want to change the font. You can see how the font is changing in the template as well. On the Content Style tab, you can change specific colors, fonts, and spacing for each individual element, such as links, paragraph, etc. Basically everything you need to adjust. And then on the Button Settings tab, you can choose the overall look of your buttons. So if your buttons are outlined with a stroke or just filled with color, for example. So let's just make our button background color white, and let's change the text color to black so it's nicely visible. I'm going to change the text to bold as well, and finally increase the size of the text a bit, and when it's all done, we can just click Save. Now that our template is branded, let's continue by creating compelling content for the newsletter and further customizing it. This is important in order to engage with your target audience and keep them coming back. To write engaging copy, it's important to know your audience and speak to them directly. Selecting impactful images can also help you capture your reader's attention. If you're not a designer, you can create simple banners using Adobe Express or Canva. But if you're a professional designer like me, of course, use Photoshop or any other design software of choice. For this tutorial, I have already designed a banner I'm going to use, but if you don't have one yet, you can always use the article feature and edit the banner directly in MailerLite, or of course you can hire a professional designer for the best results. Now let's start adding the actual content to our newsletter template in MailerLite. First up, upload your banner. Click on the Image Edit button and then click on Upload Image. Choose your banner and then upload it. After that, click on Insert to insert the banner and finally save it. It is that easy. It's also very important to add a URL link to your website or the landing page of your campaign. You can of course choose to open the link in a new tab as well. For the second way of creating the banner, let's just edit the article block section. We're going to begin by choosing Browse. Let's find a suitable image for our campaign directly in Unsplash, which is integrated with MailerLite. I'm going to search for pet photos, and I think I like this one, so let's choose it and import it. And then just click on Insert. As you can see, the dog is not centered in the banner, so what we're going to do is go to the Edit Image tab. Here we have many different options for editing and adjusting the photo, but for now just click on Transform and choose the 16:9 ratio and crop the picture so that our dog is in the middle of it. Once you're done, just click Save. Next, let's change the heading to 10% off, which is our campaign. I don't really need this text here, so I'm just going to delete it. And finally, I'm going to change the button text to Shop here. Now, the problem is that the heading is not nicely visible on the light background. So let's head to the Settings panel, then go to Design Settings. Here, click on Heading 1 and change the font color to black. You can also adjust the font size so it's a bit bigger and better readable. And once you're done with everything, just click Save. So those are the two ways you can add your banners. In our scenario, we have our own custom designed banner, so we don't really need the second section. I'm going to go ahead and just delete it. Next, you can adjust the countdown by clicking on the Edit button and adjusting the expiration date of your campaign. For our example, we're going to choose the 13th of April. Additionally, on the Design tab, you can change the background color of your clock if needed, as well as the used fonts. For our newsletter, I'd like to use the brand yellow color, and I'm just going to copy the hex code from my document and paste it here. Then just click Save. As you can see, the banner above and the background color of the countdown clock now match seamlessly. So let's continue by changing our catchy headline, short description, and button. I've already prepared all the needed infos, so I'm just going to copy and paste them from my document as well. First, let's add the heading by clicking the Edit button and then pasting our heading here. If needed, you can also make this heading clickable by adding a target URL. Next, on the Settings tab, I like to adjust the top and the bottom padding so we can add more white space around the elements and then change the background color to our brand blue color. Again, I'm just going to copy the hex code from the document I've prepared. Finally, let's change the text color to white as well, so the text is nicely readable on the blue background. Now I'm going to go ahead and do the exact same thing for the description under the headline. Same process here. And finally, let's edit the button design as well. First, I'm going to change the text to shop here. And don't forget to add your target URL here as well. Then on the settings panel, let's change the background color for the block to the same blue we have above so that the white button stands out nicely. And lastly, I'm going to adjust the top and the bottom padding a bit and then click Save. For our next step, we're going to adjust the design of our product sections. Let's start with a single product and click that Edit button. First, on the settings panel, I'm going to adjust the top and the bottom padding so that the element has more space and can breathe. Next, on the Content tab, let's change the image to our first product by clicking the Change button. I have already uploaded this image, so I'm just going to select it and click Insert. Again, we can easily scale the image up and down by dragging this corner here. We don't really need this subtitle here, so we're going to delete it from the Content tab. Now let's change the title and the description of the product, which again I have already prepared in my document. We can set the price and the old price in order to show any discount that the product has. And finally, let's change the button to Shop Now. Again, don't forget to add a link to your product page on your website. One thing you might notice is that the button is white and the background is white as well, so we need to change this and make the call to action stand out. To do so, let's head to the Settings panel, Button Settings, and change the button background color to black and the text color to white. Now our button stands out nicely. Next, let's adjust the block with the 3 products. I'd like to add a heading before those products as well, so let's choose our title element from the content blocks and drag and drop it to the newsletter design. I'm just gonna type our weekly favorites here and adjust the padding from the settings panel. Now I want to remove the price and the buttons under those products, and to do so I'm simply clicking on the edit button of each product and deleting the price and the button text sections. Now I'm going to change the 3 photos with our pre-uploaded product photos. Next, let's change the title of each product as well. And don't forget to add the URL for each product in the Content tab and make the image clickable. And finally, click on the Edit button of this block in order to adjust the top and the bottom padding settings if needed. Now we're almost done. Let's work on our benefits block. We don't need the title and the button here, so I'm just gonna go ahead and delete them. For each of the 3 benefits, I like to change the icon, the title and the short description, which I have already prepared. So let's go ahead and change the icon. You can upload an icon that you have prepared, or in my case, I've already uploaded everything and I'm just going to select the first icon here. Now the icon is white and the background color of the block is also white. So to change that, let's click on the Edit button of the whole block and change the background color to our corporate blue. To make the text nicely readable as well, I'm going to change the color of the title and the description to white. Now continue by adding the information for the other 2 benefits as well. Finally, the icons still look a bit too big, but we can adjust their size easily without the need to re-upload them. To do so, select the first icon and on the Settings tab for the image width, choose Custom and decrease the size of the icon. You can easily transfer those changes by checking the Do you want to apply these settings to all visible blocks section here and just click Apply. We're almost there. Finally, let's add some social media links. Click the Edit button and here you can add all your social media accounts with links. You can choose other platforms or you can rearrange their order. On the Settings tab, let's change the background color of the block to the same blue, and on the Social Link Settings tab, we have the option to change the icon color to white. Finally, let's adjust the top and bottom padding as well and then hit Save. As always, I have a bonus tip for you. If you have an additional code for your campaign, you can add this using the coupon voucher block and adjust all its design settings easily. You will find this element in the special block section, and let's drag and drop it to the newsletter under our products. Then click the Edit button to adjust the content bottom padding. Then on the Content tab, we can change all the text, and again, I'm going to copy and paste it from our document. For this campaign, let's say we offer free shipping for all of our products with this discount code. Once we've changed all the text, the only thing left is to adjust the design so it matches our brand identity as well. Click on the Edit button and then go to the Settings tab. Let's change the background color of the block to light gray. And under Discount Settings, I like to change the coupon background color to black and the discount color to blue and reduce the font size a bit. Under Code, I like to change the background behind the code to white for better contrast and visibility. Lastly, let's adjust the padding as well. So far, our newsletter looks great and can be sent just like that. But if you want to give this extra special touch on your design, let's work on the background a bit more. I'm going to use the bronze colors and work with Adobe Illustrator to create this simple yet effective look. You can achieve a similar look using Canva, but as you can't really work with vector graphics there, you don't have much control over the shapes. So let's quickly jump to Adobe Illustrator and design this divider. We'll start by creating a 620 by 90 pixels document in RGB. Next, let's create our divider, and for this project we want to have two triangles. The top one should be with the background color of the previous section and the bottom one with the background color of the next section. So in our case, the top triangle should be yellow and the bottom one blue. Let's start by creating a rectangle with the same size as the artboard. There are many ways to divide it into two triangles, but I'm going to keep it simple. With the pen tool, create a diagonal line across the rectangle. Then select everything and use the Shape Builder tool. Let's click on those two triangles to create them as separate shapes. The only thing left now is to change the colors to blue and yellow by copying and pasting the hex codes from our document. Now export this as a PNG and don't forget to check Use Artboards. Inserting this divider in MailerLite is super simple. Add an image block between the two sections and then just upload the PNG that we have exported. Again, I have already prepared mine, so I'm going to select it and insert it. Next, let's do the same effect here. To do so, change the upper triangle color to blue and the bottom one to white. Again, export it as a PNG. Add your image block, upload the second divider, and if you need to make further adjustments, you can always adjust the top and the bottom padding of those sections. And finally, we're going to do the same effect here. So again, invert the colors, the top triangle should be white and the bottom one should be blue. Export the last divider as a PNG as well. In MailerLite, add your image block, upload a divider, and again you can use the padding options for any further adjustments that are needed. Before sending your newsletter, it's important to preview and test it. This ensures that your newsletter looks exactly the way you want it before it goes to your subscribers. To preview your newsletter in MailerLite, simply click on the Preview and Test button in the upper right-hand corner. Here you can preview your newsletter both on desktop and on mobile devices. You can also send test emails to yourself and to your team to see how the newsletter will appear in your subscribers' inboxes. Once you're happy with your newsletter design and content, it's time to send it out to your subscribers. You can choose to send your newsletter immediately or schedule it to be sent at a later time. After your newsletter has been sent, it's important to track and analyze its success. MailerLite provides detailed reports of the performance of a newsletter campaign, including open rates, click-through rates, and subscriber engagement. By tracking these metrics, you can gain insights into what is working and what is not, and make adjustments to future campaigns to improve their effectiveness. So there you have it. This is how you can design an effective e-commerce newsletter that reflects your visual identity and is optimized for sales. Designing effective newsletters is an important part of the marketing strategy of every online business. With MailerLite, you can easily create beautiful custom newsletters that will help you connect with your audience and drive more sales. In this video, we've covered the key steps for setting up your MailerLite account, designing your newsletter template from scratch, creating compelling content, optimizing for sales, and testing and previewing your newsletter. I encourage you to try designing your own newsletters using the tips and the best practices I've shared with you. Thanks for watching today's video. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them down below and I'll be sure to check them out. I hope you found this video on newsletter design for e-commerce helpful. And if you did, be sure to give it a like, subscribe to my channel, and hit that notification bell so you never miss out any future videos. If you're looking for free design resources, be sure to check my website at albena.design and go to the resources page. You will find a link in the description below. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.